Something broke that night. Not a door, not a toy. It was a safety, a world. Ife was 16, bright, kind, full of dreams. But that night, fear found her. Rain hit the roof hard, thunder rolled. She lay reading, eyes heavy until sleep took her. Past midnight, something woke her up. Her chest felt crushed, her breath caught. A sharp pain moved inside her, like someone hurting her. She could not move. A shadow leaned over her, a well-hidden face in the dark. Lightning flashed. She saw his tattooed wrist. She screamed, "Help!" He hurriedly turned backward. Then he was gone. Fast, breaking through the window into the storm. Her parents rushed in. "Ife," her mother cried, running to her side. She wrapped her arms around her trembling daughter. Her father went outside to try to look for the intruder, but he was gone, his eyes sharp and worried. Ife sobbed into her mother's chest. "He was here. Someone was here." Her father's jaw tightened. He held her hand. "We will take care of you, I promise." Only a month before, life had been sweet. Ife was the kind of girl everyone noticed, not because she showed off, but because she carried light in her eyes. She is in senior secondary school. She was brilliant and cool, always top in her class. Teachers loved her answers. Her classmates admired her confidence. She was only 16 years old. And then there was Koulie, tall, shy, always carrying his books pressed to his chest. He liked her, but he could never say it out loud. Instead, he would leave small notes in her locker. "You are smart," or "You will do great on the test." She would smile to herself when she saw them. Her parents were very proud of her. They were not rich, but they had love. Her father worked long days fixing machines. Her mother sold food at the market. The house was simple. Wooden doors, wooden windows, always clean. The street was quiet. Children played outside until dark. In that neighborhood, almost no one had iron doors or windows. Wooden doors were enough because everyone believed the place was safe. Nothing bad happens there. Their neighbor, Mr. Ogun, was known as a kind man. He greeted everyone warmly. He often helped women carry heavy loads, and children liked him because he gave them sweet. When people's radio stopped working, he repaired them for little or no money. People said he is a good man. Sometimes, Ife's uncle, Uncle Tunde, came to visit. He was loud and full of jokes. He teased Ife and told funny stories, though he sometimes stayed too long around the house. At night, she sometimes saw a man wandering on the street. He walked slowly, muttering to himself, his clothes dusty. People in the neighborhood whispered about him. To Ife, it was just another face in the crowd. Everything felt normal. Everything felt safe. But that was before the storm. The night of the storm felt like a dream to Ife. Heavy rain fell against her wooden window. Ife had been reading her school notes on the bed. Her eyes grew heavy, and soon she slipped into sleep. Her mother's voice drifted faintly from the other room. Then, sometime past midnight, she stirred. At first it was small, the feeling that the room was not empty. She turned a little in her sleep, but the weight and pain in her body and chest made her open her eyes. Her heart froze. A shadow leaned over her. She felt pressure and pain on her body. Movement she could not understand at first. It was as if someone was forcing her into the mattress. Her breath caught. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. Her body shook in fear. Then lightning split the sky. For one sharp second, the room lit up. She saw a shadow, not everything. A man's structure bent close and a tattoo on his wrist. Her heart banged in her chest. Terror gave her strength. She screamed, a loud, raw cry. The man jerked back, turned quickly, and leaped out through the wooden window. The frame rattled in the wind as it swung open. Her mother rushed in first, a wrapper tied loosely around her. "Ife!" she cried, running to hold her daughter. She pulled her close, rocking her as Ife sobbed. Her father came in right after. His eyes went straight to the window, now wide open. His face was dark and worried. "What happened? Who was here?" Ife shook all over. Her voice cracked. Someone was here. I saw him. He had the tattoo. He forced himself on me," she said, trembling. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. She held her tighter. "Oh, my baby. My baby." Her father knelt beside them. His hand trembled as he touched Ife's shoulder. He didn't speak at once. He rushed outside to catch up with the intruder. His jaw tightened. He was angry and furious. He couldn't find him. He has gone. He came back inside and hugged his daughter with tears in his eyes, and he said, "I am sorry." Ife pressed her face into her mother's chest, still crying. The storm outside raged on, but inside the room, a different storm had begun, one that would not pass so quickly. The night felt endless. Her mother did not leave her side. She held Ife's hand, wiped her tears and whispered, "You are safe now, okay? Nothing will happen to you again." But Ife's body still shook. Every time the wind blew through the open window, she jumped. Her father closed the window gently and sat by the bed. His face looked hard, but his eyes were wet. He whispered, "Ife, you're my daughter, and I'm very sorry I did not protect you." Still, he did not know what to do. He only stroked her hair until, out of exhaustion, her sobs slowed. The next morning, they took her to the hospital. The doctor was calm and gentle. He spoke softly to her, asked questions, then ran some checks. Finally, he turned to her parents. His words were quiet but heavy. There was penetration. "She is hot, but I cannot say who did this." Her mother broke down, covering her face with her hands. Her father held her by the shoulder, trying to steady her. Then he looked at Ife, who sat small and scared on the hospital bed. "My daughter," he said softly, "we believe you, but right now we have no evidence. If we report this, they will shame you. People will talk. They will ask questions we cannot answer." Her mother touched his arm, her voice breaking. "But she's only 16. He turned away angry and helpless. "Do you want them to laugh at her in the streets? Do you want her life to be ruined twice? We must think carefully." He first stared at them both. Her chest burned. She wanted to scream. "But I saw he had a tattoo." Instead, she swallowed her words. Even she is not sure of his face. Her father's face looked so heavy. Her mother's eyes so swollen with tears. She could not hard to eat. The doctor carried out tests and took precautions to check for any STDs. That night, when they returned home, her mother lay in bed with her, holding her close. But Ife could not sleep. She was afraid of the dark. She was afraid of her room. She was afraid of the night itself. From that day on, she refused to sleep in her own room. She dragged her blanket to her parents' floor. Sometimes she cried quietly when they thought she was asleep. Her father, seeing her pain, made a decision. They were an average family, but he worked hard under the sun and rain to afford an iron window and eventually replaced the old wooden window and door with strong iron ones. He tried to act strong, but Ife saw the guilt in his eyes. Still, deep inside, Ife knew the man would come back. Days turned to weeks, but the memory of that night never left Ife. She stopped laughing the way she used to. In class, her teachers noticed she stared into space, her pen frozen in her hand. Sometimes, her friend asked, "Ife, are you okay?" She only forced a smile. Inside, she felt heavy, like her mind was trapped in a dark place. Even Koulie, who once made her heart race, could not draw out a whole smile. He dropped another note in her locker. "Your light makes others shine." But when she read it this time, her eyes filled with tears. She quickly folded it away. She no longer felt like light. At home, things grew tense. Her Uncle Tunde came to stay for a while. He laughed loudly, ate well, and sometimes teased her as before. But now, Ife's eyes always followed him. Something about his late-night movements, the way he walked around the house, made her uneasy. Her mind whispered, could it be him? Still, he acted like nothing was wrong, telling family jokes and fixing small things around the house. Then there was Mr. Ogun, their neighbor. Everyone still praised him. Such a kind man, they said. He smiled warmly at her parents whenever he passed. Sometimes he waved at Ife, but her stomach tightened when she saw him. And then there was the man on the street. He wandered barefoot, muttering to himself. Children laughed at him, but grown-ups only shook their heads, saying he had lost his mind years ago. Sometimes at night, Ife thought she saw him staring at their house. She shivered, thinking, what if it was him? Everybody is a suspect in Ife's mind. The storm had changed her. One evening, sitting alone in her room with a new iron window, Ife touched a notebook. She wrote one sentence over and over again. I will find him. I will not stay silent. That was when the idea came. She would set a trap, not with her hands, but with her mind. The next night, She placed her phone secretly in the corner of her window, its camera facing outside. She pressed record. Every night she set it again. She did not tell her parent. For 1 whole month, nothing happened. The man did not return. But on the first day of the following month, something did happen. Something that shook Ife to her core. The first night of the new month felt calm. Ife had grown tired of waiting. She almost thought the man would never return. That night, she stayed in her parents' room as usual. She placed her phone in the corner of her window before going to bed. But she was so tired that she quickly fell asleep. She did not know what happened outside. Not until the morning. When she woke up, she remembered the phone. Her hands shook a little as she picked it up from the corner and pressed play. At first, the screen was dark. Only the sound of crickets filled the night air. Then slowly, a figure appeared outside her window. A tall male shape. Her heart pounded. The streetlight that stood outside the house steadied, throwing a soft glow over him. For the first time, she saw it, his full face. He leaned closer, checking the window frame, his fingers tracing the edges. His face was clear under the pale light, and there, on his arm, was the tattoo she would never forget. Her breath caught. She froze in place, staring at the screen. It was someone she knows. In the video, the man pulled the iron window but stopped. He pulled harder, but it would not open. Realizing it had been changed, he cursed under his breath and hit the wall with his fist. His face twisted in anger. For a second, he stood there, breathing hard, before storming off into the darkness. Ife's whole body trembled. She dropped the phone, then picked it up again, as if afraid the evidence might vanish. Tears filled her eyes, not only of fear, but of relief. She had him now, his face, his tattoo, his anger. This was no dream. This was proof. She wanted to scream and call her parents at once, but she stopped. Her father had said there was no evidence. Now she had it, but she also knew she had to be careful. If she rushed, it might escape. Ife kept the video close. She saved it on her phone and also copied it to a small memory card, hiding it inside one of her school books. She checked it again and again, just to be sure it was real. Each time she saw the face and the tattoo, her chest tightened. Fear mixed with anger. She whispered to herself, now I know. Now the world will know. But she also remembered the father's word. People in their community would shame her if they knew too soon. They would ask hard questions. They might even say she made it up. So she stayed quiet. She went to school as if nothing had changed. In class, though, she was different. She still sat quietly, often lost in thought. Her teacher noticed but said nothing. Her friends started to pull away, not knowing how to reach her anymore. Koulie, the boy who liked her, watched her from afar. He wanted to cheer her up, but she no longer laughed at small things. Even his notes did not make her smile. Still, he kept trying. At home, they still cracked jokes. Mr. Ogun, the neighbor, still greeted her parents warmly. The madman on the street still wandered and muttered. To everyone else, the world was normal, but inside Ife's heart, nothing was normal again. She told herself, I must be smart. I must expose him in a way nobody can deny. She would let the evidence speak louder than her voice. And when the right moment came, the man who thought it was safe would be unmasked before everyone. Keeping the truth inside was too heavy for Ife. Every day she carried it like a stone on her chest. One afternoon after school, she sat under the big mango tree near the school gate. Her bag was beside her, her eyes staring at nothing. Koulie, holding his book as always, walked slowly toward her. Ife, he said softly, are you okay? She forced a smile. I am fine. But Koulie did not move. He only stood there, his eyes kind and worried. You are not fine. I can see it. You don't laugh anymore. You don't talk. You look like someone who is carrying too much. For the first time in weeks, Ife felt her chest open. Her eyes burned. She whispered, Koulie, if I tell you something, will you believe me? He nodded without thinking. Always. So she told him, not everything at once. Her words came out broken, mixed with tears. She told him about the storm night, how she woke up to a shadow, how she felt the pressure on her body, how she screamed, how the man fled through the wooden window. She told him about the hospital, about her parents' fear, about the tattoo she saw, and finally, about the video she had captured on her phone. When she finished, Koulie was silent. His eyes were wide, his fists tight, but he did not doubt her. Instead, he said, Ife, you are brave, so brave. You are still here, still standing, and now you have the truth in your hands. This, he tapped her phone gently, this is your power. Tears ran down her cheeks. For the first time, she did not feel completely alone. Koulie leaned closer, lowering his voice. You cannot keep this forever. One day you must show it, not just to your parents, to people who cannot look away, to people who must act. Ife nodded slowly. She knew he was right, but fear still lived in her. Fear of shame, fear of whispers, fear of the man himself. Still, as she walked home that day, her steps were lighter. She had shared a secret. Someone believed her, someone was on her side, and that made her stronger. It was a quiet evening at home. Her mother was folding clothes. Her father sat in the chair, reading the newspaper. Ife sat with her phone in her hand, her heart beating fast. Daddy, Mommy, she said softly. They both looked up at her. There is something I must show you. Her father frowned. What is it? Her mother's eyes narrowed with worry. Ife's hand shook, but she pressed play. She placed the phone on the table between them. The video began to roll. At first, only the cricket sounded. Then the shadow of a man appeared, coming close to the window. The outside streetlight lit his face clearly, and how he checked the window with anger. Her parents gasped with anger. Her mother covered her mouth with both hands. Oh my God, she whispered, her whole body trembling. Her father leaned forward, his face pale. His voice was tight. That is Ogun, our neighbor. Silence filled the room. The man they greeted every morning. The man everyone trusted. The man the whole street respected. Her mother broke down in tears, holding Ife close. My poor child, my baby, all this time. Her father stood up, pacing the room. His hand shook as he pressed them to his head. This is worse than I feared. But now we have proof. This cannot be hidden anymore. Ife looked at them with wide, fearful eyes. But Daddy, if you show this to everyone, they will know what happened to me. They will shame me. Her father stopped, breathing hard. He came close and held her shoulders. His voice was steady now. No, Ife, we will not show the video in public. We will not let anyone drag your name in the mud. But this man, he clenched his teeth. He will not walk free again. Her mother nodded firmly, wiping her tears. We will go to the police quietly. We will give them this evidence. Let them deal with him. The world does not need to know what you suffered, but the law must know what it did. Ife hugged her mother tightly. For the first time since the storm night, she felt safe. That night, her father locked the doors and windows carefully, as if building a wall around his family. Her mother slept with one arm over her daughter, whispering prayers. The storm had broken her once, but now, with truth in her hands and her parents standing strong beside her, Ife knew she would rise again. The face of her abuser was no longer a shadow in her memory. It was clear, it was known, and his time was over. The next morning, Ife's father and mother went quietly to the police station. They carried two things, the doctor's report and the video from Ife's phone. The officer in charge watched the video again and again. He leaned back in his chair, his eyes dark. This is clear, he said. The man was trying to force his way into our room. He has a tattoo. His face is clear. And you have a medical report too. We cannot ignore this. By evening, the police came to the neighborhood. They went straight to Mr. Ogun's house. The streets gathered to watch as they placed him in handcuffs. He protested, I didn't do anything. This is a mistake. But whispers filled the air. People who once praised him now stepped back in fear and doubt. The case moved to court. The doctor testified about the injuries on Ife's body. Ife's parent testifies about that storm night. And then, the judge saw the video, the face of Mr. Ogun under the streetlight, pulling at the iron window, furious when he could not enter. It was enough. The court declared him guilty of attempted rape, unlawful entry, and child abuse. The judge's voice was firm as he read the sentence. For these crimes, you are hereby sentenced to 25 years in prison without the possibility of early release. Gasps filled the courtroom. Mr. Ogun's shoulders slumped. The mask of a good neighbor was gone. Ife sat between her parent. Her mother held her hand tight, her father's arm around her shoulders. For the first time, she felt the storm inside her begin to calm. She had been broken, yes, but now the truth was no longer hidden. The man who hurt her would never hurt anyone again. And slowly, step by step, Ife began to heal. Months passed after the judgment. The shadow that once followed Ife began to fade. She still had scars inside, but she no longer felt completely broken. Therapy visits helped her talk about the pain. Her mother was always beside her, cooking her favorite meals and reminding her, "You are not what happened to you. You are stronger than it." Her father, once quiet and heavy with guilt, became a shield. He no longer told her to hide. He told her every day, "You are brave, my daughter. You gave us the courage to fight." At school, things slowly changed too. At first, Ife still sat in silence, afraid to trust anyone. But Koulie never gave up. He walked with her after classes, shared his notes, and sometimes just sat quietly under the mango tree with her. He didn't push her to smile, but when she finally laughed at one of his clumsy jokes, he smiled brighter than the sun. The girl who once lived in deep fear began to rise again. But there were other shadows in her life too. Her Uncle Tunde, who once made her uneasy, was now just what he had always been, harmless. After Mr. Ogun's arrest, he stayed a while longer, helping her father with house repairs and errands. Ife realized that suspicions of him had only been fear trying to protect her mind. It was not the storm, it was family. And the wandering man on the street? She saw him one afternoon on her way home from school. His clothes were dusty as always, his lips muttering words nobody understood. For weeks, she had thought he might be the one. But now, watching him shuffle past, she saw him clearly. Just a broken soul, not a predator, not a shadow. The real shadow had been unmasked and locked away. She studied harder, determined not to let the storm steal her future. One evening, sitting by her window, the same window that once brought her terror, she looked at the iron bars. The street light outside glowed softly. For the first time, it didn't frighten her. She whispered to herself, "I'm still here. I survived." The storm had tried to break her, but Ife was no longer just a victim. She was a survivor, a fighter, and a girl with a future that no darkness could take away. The lesson learned in this story is, evil may wear the face of kindness, but truth will always uncover it. No secret stays buried forever. And to the wicked, remember, the mask you wear today won't protect you from tomorrow's light. To every woman who survived, you are not broken, you are reborn. Your scars are proof of strength, not shame. Parent, listen, believe, and protect your daughters. Don't let silence give power to the abuser. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. Question: if you were Ife's parents that night, would you have stayed silent or fought for justice no matter the cost?